Welcome back. You're watching The Day Ahead on India Ahead. My name is Ravi Kumar Dhulipala, and my producer Rachel actually gave us a fantastic line this morning. She said, "Not all heroes wear a cape. Some wage a war without picking an arm." I think that beautifully describes the man that we have in our studios this morning. Now, before I introduce him, let's tell our viewers a little bit about the mission that we have on India Ahead. We would like to believe that we are the ambassadors of good news, and our constant endeavor is to bring out the good from the society and give it back to our society. Well, one man who has been doing a wonderful job in terms of informing people about the importance of menstrual cups happens to be Kamal, who is the founder of an NGO called Good Universe. So I would like to call him the pad man of Hyderabad with quotes, because he's not essentially the pad man, he's the menstrual cup man. Thank you so much for taking up the wonderful cause. First and foremost, I want to hear from you as to why menstrual cups and why not pads?
So initially when we started our journey back in 2014, we believed that menstrual pad is the ultimate solution for women health. But we started, digging into deep, and our team, we have researcher and we have medical practitioner, we have doctors. So when we dig into it, we understood the menstrual pads or the commercial pad available in the market, it's quite negative for women health. It has
why?
This commercial pad essentially do contain carcinogenic chemicals, toxins, and
cancer causing chemicals.
Yes.
Okay.
And each pad, if you we had research on it, and we have report, we have paper on it, that each pad takes around 500 years to decompose, each pad.
Whoa.
So it's a huge burden to our environment. At the same time,
each pad takes 500 years to decompose.
Yes, the commercial pads.
Okay, so they are not at all environment friendly.
Not at all. Not at all.
Is this established by science? Is this proven?
Yes. Also, there are reports. Not exactly Indian report though, but yes, we have report which is very authentic, and even we tried doing some research on that. So we understood what content it is. So it takes really long time and long way to get that thing done, like to decompose it. And secondly, when you use, like if you look at the pad, it contained toxic chemicals. At the same time, it contained the fragrance. So you cannot spray perfume at your private places, right? And how can one pad contain fragrance which is not really good for women health? It causes in the long term. It causes.
Now, the very fact that you're telling me that it has carcinogenic substances or elements in it is a cause of concern, because that can result in cancer.
Exactly.
Like how you have pancreatic cancer in men, of course, pancreatic cancer can happen to women as well, is what my understanding is. I'm not an expert at that, but
it's called cervical cancer.
Cervical cancer, correct? Okay.
So it
so have there been any records of pads or usage of pads resulting in cervical cancer?
The data is the saying, like yes, they do have, but research has not been done on that. But we believe the scientific results saying it can happen, and in the long terms.
And the bigger concern is the decomposition part that you spoke about.
Exactly. We have enough.
If it takes about 500 years for one pad to decompose, that's a major cause for concern, because as it is, we are polluting our environment, and this is just adding to the whole pollution.
Right. And we have enough environmental problem now.
Correct.
And it's adding on to that.
Right.
So I just recently got selected as a UN Local Pathway Fellow, and all my project is on this, like how we can make our city sustainable. So this is my major concern. So I'm working on a SDG, Sustainable Development Goal 3, which is good health and well-being. So this is my report and work which I submitted and got selected for that, and I'll be working on this ground for 1 year with
Heartiest congratulations on that achievement. Now, from what I understood after we had a conversation yesterday, is the fact that there was a lot of resistance that you had to face initially. In fact, your own friends, your own community members asked you, why are you worried about something which is concerning women?
True, very true.
Yeah, being a man, it's not your job to worry about their pads and their menstrual cycles and all that. Can you take us through those challenges that you faced initially?
So Officially, we started working in 2014, but our journey started in.
What's your background? What is your academic qualification? How did you get into this?
Yeah, so it's funny. So my parent wanted me to do like IAS or do civils, at least chartered accountant, because my dad is a MCom, and then I took a path doing BS in digital filmmaking and 3D modeling. I was a 3D artist and came here Hyderabad to work in production houses.
Where are you from?
I'm from Odisha.
Odisha.
Yeah.
Okay. Adjoining state. Okay.
Yes. So I came here to work in a production house, but I worked for only 7 months and realized this is not something I want to do.
Okay.
Then I quit that field and joined a non-profit organization for 1 year. I was working with them, free of cost. Because I just wanted to do something.
How do you pay your bills? As in, when you were working for the non-profit organization, how did you manage to pay your bills? Because Hyderabad is not an economical city.
True. So I really worked hard. So I used to work for non-profit in the daytime, and night I take freelancing work. I do graphics and 3D modeling for different organizations and take freelancing work also. So I started working in the late night, and I was working in daytime with different organizations as volunteer. Then I promoted to as a project manager. I was handling their finance. I was handling the project writing. Then I found this is something I'm loving. I love to do. Then I realized my passion is somewhere else. My profession is somewhere else. So I need to do something about it. So then I explored. Before that, I didn't know what is social work is or NGO, all these sort of things. I didn't have any idea. So when I explored, then I understood there's a course called social work, bachelor in social work. I joined Osmania. Then when I was working, like studying. As per my curriculum, they placed me in Islam to study their lifestyle for 1 year. So every week we need to go to the slum and study their lifestyle. I remember I do have the picture from the first day I went to a slum called Balareddy Nagar, just behind to Hill Nagar. So when you enter to the slum, there's an open drainage, and people just stay residing just beside to that. They cook there. Their children will be living around and playing around the kachras, the racks.
Which is the unfortunate situation with almost all the slums in the country. If you go to Dharavi, that's a common sight in Mumbai.
Yes.
Right. Not just Dharavi, all other slums in the country, they are right next to the drains. There's that stench, the stink. You cook there, you eat there, you play there, you live there, which is horrible, pathetic, isn't it?
Exactly. And basically people take it as like poverty, but poverty has nothing to do with the basic health and hygiene.
Right.
It's all about the education, because people do not know what to do exactly. Like they do not know what is the harmful effect their children can get. They think, okay, it's fine because this is how we live from the ages. So nobody is there to tell them ki it can be very simple. Just segregate your thing, like you have your kachra somewhere and cook somewhere else, or keep your kids away from that. They don't understand it because nobody was there to talk about.
What is the reason for that? Ignorance, or
Ignorance.
people just choose not to do it?
No, maybe they do not know it. Like nobody told them ki what is the right thing to do. Nobody told them ki okay, you need to wash your hand.
We have a caller who's joining us right now on the phone line, Sagarika from Jaipur. Sagarika, hi, good morning. I believe you have been watching this particular conversation. Is there anything that you would like to add?
Hi Ravi, good morning. It's always amazing to watch your show, and I'm watching your show today, and to really watch this hero walking the streets of Hyderabad is just a feeling. It's a very nice feeling. We're really proud that we have people like them in the country. Hi Kamal, it's an amazing job that you're doing. You're actually fighting for a cause, and you're fighting for a whole gender, and a lot of men don't, choose to do that. It's a stereotype often. So I really want to ask you, Kamal. I've been watching this show, and you know what? It's a real concern. You don't get menstrual cups. Most of the people in India, the 70% of the people, at least you can say, they can't get access to menstrual cups because they aren't available in a lot of places around. You can only find them in malls, in cities, in bustling cities, mostly malls, and higher people. Only people with a strata can access.
It is the higher echelons of the society who have access to menstrual cups.
Access them. So what do you say about cloth pads? Because cloth pads are something which can be made at home, They are ecologically biodegradable. They're ecologically friendly. So how do you recommend cloth pads over, menstrual cups? Because even now we don't get menstrual. Most of the people in India can't access menstrual cups.
Right. I think that's a very, very valid input that you gave, Sagarika. Thank you so much for calling in. Very interesting question. The fact that not everybody can have access to menstrual cups, A. What about cloth bags is what she spoke about.
Yes.
I would want to understand from you, why would you even recommend menstrual cups in the first place? Of course, his NGO has done a lot of good in terms of educating people about the importance of menstrual cups and about how they should stop using the regular menstrual pads. But before that, how can you think that this can provide a better alternative?
Yeah, see, rightly asked about the cloth pad, and we have really worked with many people who are doing amazing work on cloth pad, and believe me, it's very good in terms of like environmental friendly and the women also. But if you look at the slum and rural area, even the urban city like Hyderabad, we have scarcity of water. We do not have right access to water nowadays. Cloth pad needs proper wash. One. Second, you need to dry it properly. If you don't dry it properly or in the like open sun, it causes itching in your private places.
Right.
Maybe
So there is a chance of an infection happening.
Yes. So in the rural area, and again the stigma attached to it. How? So in if you look at the rural setup and urban setup, forget about the rural setup. Let's talk about the educated crowd of urban cities. Nobody talk openly about menstrual cup. Guys, like people says we know it all because we.
It is still a taboo actually. People don't even talk about their periods and menstruation and all that because they still feel that okay, this is not something which we should talk publicly. Okay.
Exactly, and they keep all these things away from the eyes. So nobody dry it and openly. Basically, women. You can never see people are there who are using cloth pad. Even we already try in our team. We have a huge team of 12 people, and we always try.
And these are all volunteers.
It's all our volunteers.
Okay, they don't charge any money for rendering this service.
No, only the travel and expense is what we do.
Is what you take care of.
Yeah, we have really good.
How do you generate funds?
It's all about the peer funding now.
Fantastic.
Been,
you need a big heart to do something like that, irrespective of the outcome of your mission. I think the very fact that you have undertaken something like this, it needs a lot of courage. And also, as you pointed out, every man would ask you the same question: why are you bothered about this?
Exactly.
You have better things to do in life.
So, if we'll talk about the funding part,
anyway, we'll come to the funding part later. Let's explain the difference between the menstrual cup and the cloth.
Yes, the cloth pad. This is the major cause. The cloth pad is amazing and very cost effective. But the only problem with the cloth pad, if you can dry it properly, if you can keep it in an open air or sun, it's amazing.
Also, because of the stain and all that, it's a little embarrassing for women if they have to dry it out in the open.
Exactly, but there is nothing to embarrass about staining, right?
Correct. That you and I understand. Not everyone does.
Exactly. So, and if you're not drying it properly, you're not drying the cloth pad properly, it can create infects on your private part in the vagina. So that is the main cause we are not recommending cloth pad. And
but tell me one thing: isn't a menstrual cup it is not easily available everywhere, as the girl pointed out, Sagarika, and B, the fact that it's much more expensive. It's almost about 10 times as expensive as your regular pads.
True.
How do you justify the cost?
Yes. So in a menstruating period, like in 1 month, there's like 5 to 7 days women menstruate in the bleed, and they use 2 to 3 pad per day.
Correct.
Right. In 5 days, that 5 into 3, it will be like 15.
Correct.
And if you look at the calculation, I don't want to get into the calculation, but if you look at the calculation, they spend 2,600 rupees per year on commercial pads.
Right.
But one single cup costs you 600 to 800, maybe max
1,000
rupees, 1,000 or 1,200. But the best part of menstrual cup is you can use it for at least 10 years. If not 10 years, let's say 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
What do you do? As in, you wash it and then you keep it and then you use it again?
Yes. So it's very easy. It's made of silicon, medical grade silicon. So it is flexible. You can just drop it.
Are there any proven researches that say that there is no infection whatsoever owing to a menstrual cup, or for that matter, the carcinogenic substances that you spoke about as far as the pads are concerned? Is there a
Exactly.
guarantee that there is nothing of
Yes.
that sort in menstrual cups?
Because menstrual cup made of silicons
Correct.
and it medical grade.
Right.
So there is research which is like medical grade won't, if you use it or it will come contact with the blood, it won't create
Spread
or
any
spread
infection
infections.
or any cancer causing organisms or virus if they are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the thing. So there are research.
So you strongly recommend that menstrual cup is the way forward for all women,
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so
both
first-
cost-wise as well as health-wise and environment-wise,
Environment-wise.
because you don't have to dispose it off.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly, because you can use it at least 10 year, or if not 10 year, at least 5 year. So the carbon footprint will be less.
Right.
Yeah,
So that indirectly will be benefiting the planet.
exactly.
And given the fact that we would like to assume that it's a 50-50 ratio when it comes to men versus women,
Yeah.
which means that as much as men are responsible for polluting the environment in their own style by smoking and by spreading pollution and vehicular pollution
Yeah.
and all that, women subconsciously, without knowing, could actually end up polluting the environment even if they use the pads.
Exactly. So it's not about we are not blaming anybody, because
Right,
this
right,
is
right.
how.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't
Yeah,
know about
exactly.
it. And I'm glad that we actually spoke about this, because even I am getting to know right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and this is my motive. Like we specifically men do not take part in women health. We never did.
Which is unfortunate, isn't it?
Exactly.
There is still a stigma around that. Even in good families also, people don't talk about it so openly.
Exactly. And they don't have an interest. They feel like
It's their headache.
it's their headache. It's women's issues. Even boys, like they tell me openly. Even the girls sometimes they say to me like, you don't need to be worried about us. Like I told them, yeah, I need to, because I'm a part of it. And I do have my.
But where
own
does that
background.
stem from? Where does that ignorance, or for that matter, not even ignorance, it's actually an attitude which is very sad. The fact that men don't really care about
Exactly.
all these things which are important, because that's how the anatomy is, that's how the bodies are made up of.
Yeah, and men really don't take part. They think it's really something. It's
Do they
just-
poke fun at you? Do they insult you whenever you talk about?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Share some of those experiences.
So when I started in 2014,
And these would be educated men, qualified men, would be making fun of you.
Yes, they are my friend, very highly educated, BTech, MTech, and some of them from really good universities. They started assuming that I am something like I'm going to change my gender, or maybe I'm something.
Really?
Yeah.
They could stoop down to that level.
Yes, they thought, they straightly asked me, are you some other gender, or you are planning to go through some different.
Why are you
thing?
bothered
Yeah,
about these things and all?
I
I'm
said-
sure they would have asked you that.
Yes, yes. Why you are so concerned about? There are other social issues. I said, yeah, there are other social issues I'm concerned about, but this is something I can do and I'm doing, and I feel like this is something you need to address because nobody talking about it. Somebody.
But
should take
why
part.
that interest? Let me ask you this question. Why so much of interest? Yes, of course, you're doing a fantastic job. Very, very noble, and I'm immensely proud of you.
Yeah.
But I want to understand from you, why so much of interest in this subject? There are other ways of protecting or preventing more damage to the environment. But why this?
Yeah, it's not like I'm not doing any other things. As I told you, like sustainable city is my now one new concern, and I'm working constantly on that. But if you look at my background, I really come from a rural background. And I understood what women go through. It's very, very simple. So when I started keeping my hair, it can be sound silly, but it is deep. So I was having long hair till my shoulder, and one day I was oiling my hair, and it took me around 5 to 10 minutes to oil, clean and dry, and my hand was like, my shoulder was paining. And all of a sudden I was thinking, see, if for this long hair I'm having this much pain and I'm thinking of cutting it off or chalking it off, think of women, those who are having the hair
Yeah,
till
almost
their waist.
Hair till waist, yeah.
And imagine how they dry, how they clean it, how they maintain it. And can you imagine a woman cutting the hair and saving it off? People won't, here I found few people.
People will have a problem with that.
Exactly. They're like, what the hell you are doing? Like, why did you
Right.
chop off your hair?
Right. So they don't care,
Yeah.
for their well-being, but at the same time they want them to dress up and behave and be in a certain style.
Exactly.
If they don't do that, then the men will have a problem.
Exactly. Don't you think like we
That's height of being a patriarchal society,
yeah.
isn't it?
And look at our family, like we never went to kitchen asking our mom, can I help you in the cooking?
Right.
I'm a good cook, by the way. Like I love cooking and I help my mother like
Nice,
at a
yeah.
time.
You're a very inspirational guy. I'm so proud of you. Okay.
Thank you. But it's true. Like my friend never they don't go to the kitchen and explore what their mom or sister or everybody is doing. And secondly, it's
Well,
like,
I should actually feel happy because at least I asked my mom if I could help her out. I don't know how to cook. I'm terrible at that, but I'm glad that at least
Yeah.
every now and then I'll
Good
ask
job.
her if I could do something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
And I
least a
try
good job.
doing something or the other, whatever is there in my limits.
That's great.
Nice. Okay.
And second thing, so we are like adults and we'll have relationship, we'll have girlfriends or maybe we'll get married very soon. Don't you think we should know beforehand what they are going to going through or
Oh,
they
what is
are
it that they go through on a monthly basis?
Yeah, so it's just not about the physical pain. It's just not about the cramps. It's more likely about the mood swings, the the mental health aspect. Even we do talk about that. So we thought we think basically this problem, the period problem, is just about bleeding. It's not. It's the mood swing aspect is very critical.
Oh, it's a hormonal nightmare out there in their bodies, isn't
Yes,
it?
ask women. Ask women.
Right.
they'll tell you.
I completely agree with you on that. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Very quickly, I want to understand what is it that Good Universe has been doing as an NGO.
Yes.
How have you reached out to women and how is it that you plan to take this mission forward?
Yeah, so I'll talk about the team. So the team is consist of doctors, artists, and social work researcher. And I'm lucky to have these beautiful people in my team. Those who are like selfless and working day and night for this organization. And we have reached around 11,390 women and adults and girls, both Telugu-speaking state, Andhra and Telangana. And it's not about even you can ask me what's the target audience. People basically ask me what's the target audience. It's urban, rural, or slum. It's not about that. It's
Everybody
about,
is your target audience.
Yes.
Every woman is your target audience.
Yes.
Every
It's-
menstruating woman.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about like where we need to reach out and where we need to talk about it. And
So how do you go about this? How do you go about educating women? Do you go organize these campaigns or workshops, or how do you talk to them?
So yes, so we have a team of doctors. We have 3 doctors, even few psychiatric and gynec also there. So we designed a curriculum. We have a huge design curriculum on menstrual hygiene, how it affects your mental health, how it affects your physical health, what you could you can do when you bleed excess, what you do when you stop bleeding. So all this aspect, we have a huge document and curriculum. We designed it. We basically take 3 days long program, but sometimes they don't
Free of
allow.
cost.
Yeah, free of cost.
Right.
Till now it's free of cost. And we go to slums and we do
I think
access.
if I could advise you, your program should always be free of cost. Try
Yes.
and have somebody fund your endeavor to reach out to people.
True.
Yeah, nobody would want to, at least as of now, would want to pay for understanding something like this. So you have to do an FOC job.
But that is the change you need to do.
Right.
Why
Are you
can't-
guys open to other NGOs from across the country reaching out to you and partnering with you and taking the mission forward from their side?
Of course, yes.
Okay. So can you use this platform as a platform to reach out to those NGOs? Can you give out your email ID or something wherein other NGOs could reach out?
Yes, definitely. You can contact me at contact@gooduniverse.org.
Okay. Contact at gooduniverse.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can directly call me on 83411
I doubt if they'll be able to register the mobile number, but
Yeah.
contact at gooduniverse.org is a fairly simple email ID.
Yeah.
Also, if any women, if they have any doubts, any confusion, they can always reach out to your NGO,
Yes,
right?
so they can reach out to Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and Instagram
Right.
on Good Universe NGO.
Fantastic.
So they can reach out to us.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, that's all the time that I had over here, but I must say that you're doing a commendable job, brilliant job. Keep up the good work. Please make sure that you reach out to more and more women, and let's bring about this change for their personal hygiene, for their health, as well as for the well-being of the environment around us.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And
Absolute
I
pleasure.
think-
Thank you so much, Kamal. Well, with
Thank
that,
you.
we'll call it a wrap on this particular broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. We'll slip into a short break right now, but news and updates will continue on the other side on the day ahead on India Ahead. Stay tuned.